Hey guys, Joy here. Today we're going to learn form validation using JavaScript. Today we're going to build this entire project from scratch. This is the desktop version. And this one is a design for the mobile version, alright? So we have these images over here, okay? And then we have our form over here as well. So look at the social media buttons over here. We have our form over here as well. We're going to inject the JavaScript. We're going to use the JavaScript inside this form over here, alright? Alright guys, this is the project demo that we're gonna build today, alright? We have our form over here and we have our image over here, including the brand name, the logo over here, okay? So I'm gonna zoom in real quick and look at this, alright? I have my form over here. We're gonna include the JavaScript, we're gonna use the JavaScript inside this form over here so that it works perfectly fine, alright? Let's say that I'm gonna submit this form blank, complete blank, without inputting anything, okay? Now look at the result, alright? Submit. There we go. We have our error message over here and we have this error icon over here as well. Now let's say that I'm going to write my name over here like this, alright? Now look at this, I'm going to submit this. Look at that, the error message went away. At the same time I have the success icon over here as well. Similarly, if you do this over here like this, okay, if you input something over here and if you submit it like this, look at that. Now look at that, the error message goes away. At the same time we have this success icon over here which replaces the failure icon. Now if I hit the developer console like this, F12, look at this, I'm gonna make the window smaller. Now look at this, this is the desktop version and this one is the mobile version over here. Look at that, I have built this for the mobile version as well. Look at this, this is the GitHub repository where you're gonna find the source code of this project that we're gonna build today. Check the link in the description down below. Also I'm gonna include the CodePen link so that you can get a live preview of the project that we're gonna build today, okay? So if you resize this window like this, look at this, this is the desktop version, and if I resize this like this, look at that, it's gonna go to the mobile version like this. Look at that, we're gonna get a live example through this CodePen link, okay? Check the link in the description down below. Alright guys, the video will go like this. First of all, we're gonna write the HTML, alright? And then we're gonna write the CSS, then the JavaScript part. If you're done up to this part, then you can skip the video, okay? So up to this part, you're gonna write this form over here, alright? But if you want to make the whole project including the media query for the mobile version, then you're most welcome. But if you follow along the whole tutorial, you will not only build a project portfolio for yourself, but also you're gonna learn a lot of CSS tips and tricks so that you can become efficient in making website projects. And then on the fourth step, we're gonna make the social media button, which is this one over here, alright? And then we're gonna make the images and the media queries. These are the images. Look at this, this is the image over here and we have this image over here which is the logo, alright? And then on the last stage we're gonna add the media query, which is this one over here, which is made for the mobile version, okay? So look at this, I'm gonna make the window smaller like this. Look at this, this is the mobile version over there. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe because I post videos based on practical web dev projects so that you can level up your coding skills. If that sounds interesting, hit the subscribe button and join my gang. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright boys and girls, before coding, first of all we need to set up our environment. To do that, right click and then new and then create a new folder. Name this folder anything you wish, but for this tutorial I'm going to name it project, project, like this, okay? Enter. And then I'm going to right click over here and then I'm going to find this option, okay? Open with VS Code. If you don't have this option, do this, open VS Code. And then do you see this file option over here? Click this and then open folder. Alright, go to desktop and then navigate to your project that you created, okay? This one. Click this and then select folder and then it's gonna open this folder inside our VS Code. Now do this, I'm gonna create 3 files with the file names index.html, style.css and then main.js. Something like this, look. Index HTML, then style.css and then main.js. There we go. Now come back to HTML over here and then you hit exclamatory sign like this and then you're gonna find this option over here. This is IntelliSense and it's gonna show me the emit abbreviation over here of the exclamatory sign. If you don't have this option, if you're seeing something like this, then do this. First of all, write the exclamatory sign and then control space. Look at this, you're gonna find all of these options over here, okay? And then click the first one like this. Now look at this, it has generated me HTML boilerplate over here, alright? Now change the title to form validation, which is the main project for our tutorial today. Alright, now listen, you're gonna link the style.css inside your HTML file like this, link and then tab. Okay, so inside this href tag, instead of writing directly, do this control space and you're gonna find all of these options over here. Okay, and then click this one, style.css. Do the same thing for the JavaScript part. Okay, write script. Okay, and then select this option over here, and then over here, instead of writing main.js by hand, do this control space and look at this main.js. Click this option over here. There we go. Now save it. Come back to Google, and over here you're gonna write font awesome, because we're gonna use the icons of font awesome. Because if I come back to the main design of over here, then you can see that we have used some icons. Do you see this icon over here, this icon over here, and this icon over here? We're gonna also use the icons over here, here and here as well. Which icons? The success icon and the exclamatory icons. All right, so you come back over here and write font awesome like this, and you're gonna find this first option over here. Click this fontawesome.com. Alright, you're gonna find this interface over here, so you're gonna click this start for free option. Okay, and then you're gonna input your email over here, but for this tutorial I'm gonna use a temporary email. Okay, so this one, so I'm gonna copy this from here and then paste it over here like this, Control V, and then send kit code like this. Alright, now it's gonna give me a mail to my email, so I'm gonna come back to my mail over here and look at this font awesome. Okay, I'm gonna click this over here, and then I'm gonna scroll down. Look at this over here, click confirm your email address plus set things up like this. I'm gonna click this, and it's gonna open a new window. It's gonna open a new tab over here, and look at this, it's gonna open a new tab over here, and it's gonna give me the options of setting password. Okay, I'm gonna put a simple password over here. Okay, there we go, set password and continue. Okay, you're gonna find these options, but you don't have to fill this up, so no thanks, let's skip this for now. Alright, so you don't have to understand anything, just click this little icon over here. You see this, the profile icon, and then go over here, font awesome CDN. Alright, and then you're gonna find this interface over here. Just scroll down and look at this link over here. Okay, you'll just copy this link. Okay, just click over here like this, and it's gonna get copied. Alright, so come back to VS Code over here and paste the code over here like this, Control V there and Control S. There we go, and there we go, we can successfully use the icons of font awesome. Do you see this design over here? Okay, so we're gonna enclose this entire project inside a div with a class name container, and then we're gonna create two sections. One section will hold the image, this text, and this brand name over here. Another section, which will be named form, will hold this. Okay, our form, our buttons over here, and this button over here as well, etc. Now I'm back to VS Code. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here and then create a class name container. Okay, dot container, and then hit tab. Emmet will automatically write code for us. Alright, so inside over here we have to create two sections, but for now just create one section. Okay, the form with the ID name form. Okay, hashtag form like this, tab. There we go, we have our form over here, the form tag, and this ID is form as well. Alright, so remove this action from here, we don't need it for this tutorial. Alright, so inside this form we're gonna create first of all the title. Okay, dot title, tab, and we're gonna name over here get started like this. There we go, I hope you understood this, and just keep some gap over here like this so that we can differentiate between the main content and our sections. Okay, now listen, inside this div we're gonna create three more divs which will hold the inputs. Okay, if I come back to the design, do you see these inputs over here? The first one, the second one, the third one over here. Okay, so three divs. So come back to VS Code and write div star 3. Okay, then hit tab like this. Look at this, we have three divs. All right, now I suggest you to download an extension called Better Comments. Let me show you. Okay, so you're gonna hit this extensions tab over here, and over here you're gonna write Better Comments. Okay, this one, Better Comments, written by Aaron Bond. So if I scroll down, then you can see that we can write comments in various colors. You can see that we have the blue color, the light green color, this orange color, this red color over here. Okay, so download this. Alright, I'm back to VS Code. I'm on the index.html file, and I'm gonna write comments so that I can differentiate which one is which one. Something like this, look. Okay, control and then slash, it's gonna create me this comment. Okay, so the first input, the first div will carry the input named username. Okay, so user name input here. All right, so in order to highlight this in red, do this. Okay, hit enter over here and enter over here as well. Now look what I do. I'm gonna write slash star star. Okay, and then over here I'm gonna do the same. Okay, star star slash, and over here I'm gonna write 1 star like this. Look, and then enter, space, and then exclamatory sign. Look at that, I have written this comment in red color. All right, I'm gonna copy this from here like this, Control C, and I'm gonna paste it over here like this. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna name over here the email input is here. All right, and then over here I'm gonna do the same thing, paste this code, and I'm gonna write over here password input is here. There we go. Now you can differentiate. Now through these comments you can easily differentiate which div carries which inputs. All right, so inside the first div which carries the username input, I'm gonna first of all write the label. Okay, label tab. There we go. And then I'm gonna write input and then colon text like this, and then hit tab. Look at this, it's gonna generate with the name and the ID. All right, now listen, this label belongs to this input over here. That's why we write over here the for and the name. So I'm gonna write over here username like this, username, and I'm gonna copy this and paste it over here like this, so that the label matches the input over here. All right, so on the ID we're gonna name username, the same thing. Okay, so that we can select this on the JavaScript. Okay, Control V, username over here, the name is username, and for is also username as well. So inside this label write user name like this. Now back to the design. This is the input. Okay, this one is the input and this one is a label. I hope you understood the difference. All right, so I'm gonna come back and now I'm gonna create a div with the class name error like this, dot error tab. There we go. Now let me explain that why I wrote this extra class over here, the error class. Okay, so if I come back to the finished project, then you can see that this is the project. Okay, so let's say that I forgot to write the input, okay, on the name and the email, but I wrote the password over here like this. Look at this. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit submit over here. Then you can see that we have a custom message over here. Username cannot be blank, email cannot be blank, and we have this danger sign over here as well. But for this password, as we have put the password over here, we're gonna find this success icon over here and no custom message. So how is this possible? How did we generate this message? So this message over here, do you see this message? This is getting generated through the JavaScript, and then this generated message is getting pushed inside the error class over here. I hope you understood why I wrote this error class over here. Now I'm gonna input the font awesome icons. So you come back to the font awesome website, and then over here you're gonna write user like this, enter, and then you're gonna find tons of icons over here. Okay, so I'm gonna click this over here, or perhaps let's use this one, the black color one. Okay, so I'm gonna click over here and then it's gonna open this window. Okay, so start using this icon. Okay, then I'm gonna copy this from here like this, and I'm gonna come back over here and then paste it over here like this, Control V. There we go. If you feel lazy, then no worries. Okay, just write it on your VS Code. Okay, you don't have to go and navigate on the font awesome website. Okay, so I'm gonna go back again, and then I'm gonna find the danger icon. Okay, I'm gonna write danger over here like this, and then I have this option over here, many options. So I'm gonna select this one. Okay, the black color one, and then start using this icon. Okay, copy this from here like this, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna paste it over here like this, Control V. And I'm gonna go back again and I'm gonna write over here success icon. Okay, success like this, select this. Okay, check circle, this one, and then start using this icon, copy the code, go back and paste it over here like this, Control V. There we go. Now in order to open this, in order to see the results on the browser, okay, I highly suggest you download this extension. It's called Live Server. Okay, Live Server. Let me show you. Wait a second. This one, Live Server made by Ritwik Day. This one. Okay, so you install that one. So once you have downloaded this extension, you're gonna go back to your HTML and right click and you're gonna find this option, okay, open with live server. You're gonna click this over here, and there we go. We have this result so far. Okay, so if I zoom in, then you can see that we have what? We have the title over here, and then we have the username, which is what? Which is the label. Okay, we have the icon, which we will be placing this inside the form over here, and these icons over here as well, we will also place them over here on the right side of the input field. All right, similarly we will create the email input, the password input. All right, so follow along with me. Just copy the code from here like this. Okay, everything is the same except we need to change the name, the for this name over here, the ID over here, and this icon over here as well. So follow along with me. Okay, so I'm going to copy this over here like this, Control C, and then paste it over here like this, Control V. There we go. And for the password, do the same thing. Okay, Control V. Now change these things. Okay, instead of the username, write email. Okay, copy this, Control C, and then paste it over here, Control V, email over here, and then Control V, and paste the same over here as well, and change it to email. All right, there we go. And remove this from here. All right, and go back to the website, the Font Awesome website, and write over here mail like this. All right, so we have a bunch of options. Just select this one. Okay, the envelope. Now click this, copy, go back, paste it over here like this, Control S. Now let's look at the result. There we go, it looks like this. Now let's change the password. Okay, so go back and over here write password. Okay, then copy this, Control C, paste it over here like this, and paste the same over here, and then the same over here as well, and change it to password as well. Password. There we go. Change this one. Okay, go back to Font Awesome over here and write over here lock, L-O-C-K, lock. Then select this one. Okay, the black color one, or you can select anything you wish. All right, so scroll down, click this, copy the code, and go back over here and paste it over here like this, Control S. Now look at the result. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and look at the result over here. Can you see this? We have the username over here, the email over here, the password over here, and then we have these icons over here as well, which we are gonna place where? Over here on the left side of the input, and these icons should go on the right side of the inputs. Okay, now the last thing that we need to write is the submit button. Okay, so come over here. Okay, before the closing tag of the form tag. Okay, so over here we're gonna write button, B-U-T-T-O-N, okay, colon submit, and it's gonna automatically generate this. Click this over here, so you see this button type submit, and over here you write submit, S-U-B-M-I-T, like this, and over here you're gonna write ID, which should be equal to, which should be submit as well. There we go. Now save it and look at the result over here. There we go. We have our 3 inputs over here, this title over here, and then we have the submit button as well. Alright guys, for now the HTML part is over. Alright boys and girls, so far so good. We have our result over here and we have our VS Code over here. So we're gonna write the style.css right now. Okay, so it's a best practice to write comments. Okay, so I'm gonna write comments over here as well. So you remember that we have installed the plugin named Better Comments. We're gonna use that. Okay, so /*** again. In total, you're gonna write 4* over here. Okay, 1 2 3 4, and then slash over here. Okay, at the middle, break it over here like this by clicking enter. Okay, and then select, write a star over here, and then exclamatory sign over here like this. And now it's gonna highlight in red color. So first of all, you're gonna write changing default styles of browser. Changing default styles of browser. There we go. Now copy this comment from here. Okay, Control C and paste it a couple of times over here. 1 2 and then 3. Okay, so at the very last we're gonna include the media query. Okay, so we're gonna write over here media queries are here. Okay, and then over here we're gonna write style rules for the form icons. Okay, style rules for form icons. Okay, copy this from here. Okay, and then paste it over here, and you're gonna write style rules for form tag. Okay, or you can also write form section. All right, let me actually maximize this so that you can see that. So this is the final code over here. Okay, so first of all we have changing default styles of the browser, and then style rules for form section, style rules for the form icon, which is this one over here. You see this icons over here, these are the form icons, and this entire thing is the form section, which is this one. Okay, form section, form icons are this one, and then media queries are for the mobile version. Okay, so first of all we're gonna change the default styles of the browser. Okay, let me actually show you what that means. Okay, if I zoom in, then you can see that we have gap over here. Okay, this is the gap of the browser, the default styles. Okay, so we need to remove that. So in order to remove that, I'm gonna come over here on this section. Okay, and I'm gonna write the star, which means the universal selector. Okay, star curly braces, M0 tab, P0 tab. Okay, BX tab, which means box sizing border box. Okay, and for the body section you're gonna write FF tab, and then over here you're gonna write SS and control space, then you're gonna get sans serif over here like this. Okay, so if I save it, then you can see that I have removed the default styles, which is the margin padding from there, and then I have also changed the font family of my fonts over here. You can see that the font changed. Alright, so we have successfully changed the default styles of our browser. Now over here we're gonna write the form tag. Okay, no dot or no slash, because this is not a class name, this is a tag. Okay, just write form, because if I come to the HTML over here, then you can see that this is a tag. Okay, and this is the ID. We will use the ID on the JavaScript. Okay, and on the CSS we will use this tag over here, the form tag. Okay, so no dot or no hashtag. Okay, so don't make a mistake, only form, which is the form tag. Okay, then curly braces over here, and then set the max width to 400 pixel. Okay, MW tab, 400 pixel. Okay, in order to see the form, to see our form in a better way, we're gonna write box shadow. Okay, box shadow like this. Okay, let me maximize this, and first of all we're gonna write the RGBA. Okay, RGBA color over here, and then we're gonna set 0 0 0 and then 0.1, which means the opacity. Okay, R means red, G means green, blue, and then alpha. Okay, so 0 0 0 represents the color black, and 0.1 represents the opacity, which is 10% opacity. Okay, and along with the color we also need to define what. Now we need to move the position of our box shadow, so follow along with me. First of all is the x-axis value, 2 pixels, and then 2 pixels for the y-axis. And then we have to set the blur radius of our box shadow like this, 4 pixels. I'm gonna set 4 pixels over here, and then I'm gonna save it and then minimize this. I mean make it smaller, and then you can see the result over here like this. My bad, I wrote the wrong thing. It should be max width. Okay, max width over here, and set it to 400 pixels like this. All right, now you can see the result over here. I'm going to move it from here. You can see that we have our content over here, and then we have some box shadow over here as well, so that we can better see how the form looks like. All right, now do you see this title over here? We're gonna change the font size of the title and make it bolder. Okay, so in order to do that, come over here and write dot title. Okay, which is the class name of the title. Okay, and then set F size tab. Okay, it should be 35 pixels like this. There we go, and save it. Let's actually change it to 25 pixels. Okay, it looks good. And now set the font weight to how much? Font weight to bold like this. Control S. Now you can see that it is a bold color over here. Set some margin bottom. Okay, MB tab to let's say 20 pixels. Okay, it looks good. Let me remove this from here. Now you can see that. Now we're gonna style the input fields. To do that, come over here on the HTML, then you can see that who is the parent. The form is the parent, and then we have what? The div, which is the children, and then we have what? The input, which is the grandchildren. In order to select the input, come come over here and on the CSS write first of all the form and then the div and then what, the input like this. Okay, or you can also write it using this angle bracket over here. Okay, let me actually write it like this. Okay, this angle bracket means first of all this is the children of this one, okay, and this one is the children of this one. If you don't write the angle bracket, no worries, CSS will automatically understand that who is the children of whom and who is the parent, like this. Look at that. So alright, so inside over here I'm gonna make it 100%. okay, so width should be 100%. There we go. If I look at the result, then you can see that it is stretching to 100% like this. And in order to set some padding inside our form, come to this form over here, you see this over here, and set the padding to 50 pixels. Okay, P50px and then hit tab. Oh, sorry, P50px and then hit tab, which is 50 pixels should be applied to all four sides of our form. Okay, Control S. Now you can see that 50 pixels is getting applied on the bottom, left, right, and at the top as well. Now look at this input over here. Okay, we're gonna make the border radius 8 pixels. Okay, so I'll come to this over here, this form div, this input over here. All right, so border radius, set it to 8 pixels. Okay, 8 pixels, and set the height to 40 pixels. Okay, height 40 pixels. Okay, save it. Now look at this, we have this result so far. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Now if I click over here, then you can see that we have the border radius, how much, 8 pixels. But look, we have a little box over here which doesn't look good. This is what, this is the outline. In order to remove that outline, follow along with me how to remove that. So you're gonna write outline none, like this. Okay, now let's check if the outline went or is it still there. Okay, so I'm gonna click over here like this. Now look, the outline is not there. If I write, then I can write peacefully over here. Now let's change the border color of our input. Do you see this? This is complete black, but in our design you can see that this is not complete black. This is what color? This is a little gray color. Okay, so I'm gonna come to my VS Code over here and I'm gonna write over here, wait a second, I'm gonna write on here, okay, on the input I'm gonna write over here border, sorry, not this one, border 2px solid gray color, which is hashtag C4. Okay, this color. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Now look at this over here. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. Now you can see the result over here. It is not black color, it is a little gray color. Now look at this form over here. Now look at this input over here. There is no gap between the content and this box over here. Okay, so let's add some gap. So I'm gonna select this VS Code from here and I'm gonna write over here padding. First of all, the value top bottom, it should be 0, and then on the left and right it should be 30 pixels. Okay, now let's look at the result. There we go. It should look like this, and look at this, I have a lot of gap over here. That's because, do you see this design over here? I need to input, I need to place the icon over here. That's why I have placed a lot of gap on my result over here like this. Now look at our input over here. We have no box shadow and it looks quite ugly. Okay, so I'm gonna do this over here. Come back to VS Code, and do you remember this one? Inside the form tag we have written what? A box shadow, right? So I'm gonna copy this from here. I don't need to I don't need to write it again. Just copy it from here and paste it at the bottom over here inside the the input. Okay, I'm gonna paste it over here like this. Control V. Before saving, look at this over here. Okay, so this is the before. All right. And if I save it like this, Control S, look at this. I have some box shadow and it looks much better than before. Okay, look at that. Now we're gonna put gap between this label and this input over here of 5 pixels. So how to do that? So come over here and write form div and then select the input and then select the label like this. Okay, or what you can do is just simply write the label over here like this. All right, and then curly braces over here. You're gonna write MB tab, which means margin bottom. Set it to 5 pixels. Okay, save it. Now look at that, nothing changed. Why is that? That's because it is behaving like an inline element. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna write over here border 2px solid red. Okay, if I write like this and look at this, this label over here is behaving like what? This label over here is behaving like an inline, but we want it to behave like a block so that we can put the margin bottom. So in order to do that, do this, okay? I'm gonna comment this from here like this real quick, and then I'm gonna write db, not this, sorry, db tab display block, okay? I'm gonna put it at the top over here like this, Control V, and I'm gonna save it. Now look at this. Now this label over here, can you see this? It's gonna cover 100% of the entire width that is available, but before it was behaving like this, okay? Look at this icon over here real carefully. Now look at this icon over here really carefully, okay? It has moved at the bottom, but if I remove this display block from here, then it's gonna get over here, okay? Let's uncomment this from here real quick, save it. Now look at that. Can you see this behavior over here? And I'm gonna bring it back over here like this, Control S, and now I'm gonna bring back this margin bottom from here as well. Now look at this, okay? We will have 5 pixels of margin, okay? Save it. Now look at this. We have 5 pixels of margin, okay? I'm gonna remove this border from here like this, and I'm gonna save it. Now look at that. We have solved our problem. You can adjust the margin over here like this. Let's say you want 50 pixels of margin like this, and now we have 50 pixels of margin bottom over here. I'm just gonna set it to 5 pixels over here like this. All right, so far so good. Now we're gonna position our icons, okay? This icon should be over here, and these 2 icons, the success and the failure icon, should be over here on the right side. How do we do this? Do you remember that we have created an extra comment over here? We're gonna style them inside this, under this comment over here, okay? So let's get started. So first of all, we're gonna select what? We're gonna select the icon. Which icons? This icons, okay? So I'm gonna come back to HTML over here. Can you see this? What do we have? First of all, we have the form tag, and inside the form tag, what do we have? We have the div tag, okay? So this is the parent, this is the children, and which is the grandchildren. The icon is the grandchildren, okay? So I'm gonna select the icon. So how do we do that? So I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna first of all write form, and then what? The div, and then what? The icon, okay? And then curly braces over here, and inside over here we're gonna write what? Position absolute pos apps like this, okay? And then I'm gonna save it. There we go. We can see this behavior over here. By the way, I have an entire tutorial on the position property. If you want to know more about the position property and along with all its values, check the link in the description down below. We got this result so far. Okay, let's say that I want to write left 0, okay? L0 tab. Now look what happens very carefully, okay? I'm gonna save it. Now look at this. All the icons went where? On the very left side. Towards whom? Towards the body. By default, do you know who's the parent of everyone? Let me show you on the HTML, okay? This body tag is the parent of everyone. So which means that we have written position absolute over here, right? So by default, the body should have, let me write over here, body should have position relative over here, okay? By default. So by default, the position of these icons will behave according to the setting, according to the position of our body tag. So how do we fix this? How do we fix this so that this icons remains inside our div? Let me show you. Wait a second. I'm gonna save it over here real quick, and over here, where are the icons? The icons are over here, right? And who is the parent of these icons? Let me show you. This div, right? So we want our icons to behave according to the position of what? Come on, tell me. According to the position of the div, which is the main parent, not according to the position of the body tag. So how do we fix this? So this is the default. So this is the default value, right? So cut it from here, okay? Control X, and find that. And now find for the parent. Who is the parent? Come on, look at the HTML. This is the parent, right? So look at this over here. Form div. This is the parent, okay? So I'm gonna paste it over here like this. Control V, okay? And I'm gonna remove this from here, and I'm gonna make it smaller. Now look very carefully what happens, okay? I'm gonna save it like this. Look at that. And there we go. I have solved the problem. Now can you see that everyone is congested together? So in order to solve that, just remove this left from here, okay? And save it. Now look at that. We have this result so far, and in order to put this icon at the very center, come to this icon over here, okay? You see this, and write over here P10px, okay? Tab. Save it. Now look at that. It is at the exact center over here. Now let's position these icons over here. So how do we do this? So come to the HTML and write 2 extra classes, okay? Starting with the username, okay? First of all, write over here failure icon, because this is the exclamation circle, okay? So write over here failure icon, okay? There we go. This one, okay? Failure icon, okay? Don't make a spelling mistake, okay? And write over here success icon like this. Look at that. Failure icon and success icon. So this will be the same in all the inputs, okay? Just copy it from here like this. Control C and paste it everywhere. This is the email over here. Paste it over here like this. Control V. and paste it over here inside this password input as well, like this. Control V over here, like this. There we go. Now look what I do. I'm gonna copy it from here and paste it where? On the style.css, okay, at the bottom over here, so that I don't make a spelling mistake while I type the success icon, the failure icon, etc. Okay, dot and then Control V, then put a comma over here and come back, copy this from here, okay, failure icon, okay, Control C, come back and put a dot over here and then Control V, and then curly braces over here. All right, and right over here R0, then hit tab, save it. Now look at the result. Can you see that I have solved what? Come on, tell me. I have solved this problem. It was where? It was over here, right? I have moved it inside over here. Now it looks very good. Now let's color our icons, okay? The failure icon should be in the color of what? The red color. And the success icon should be in the color what? Green color, okay? So I'm going to copy this from here like this, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over here, Control V, curly braces, and I'm going to write over here color C tab, okay, and then red over here, and I'm going to save it. Now look at this. We have the color red over here, and you can see that both the icons are overlapping on top of each other. But don't worry, okay, we're going to manipulate this inside the JavaScript. For now, just style this, okay? So I'm going to copy this from here, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over here, Control V, and curly braces, C tab, okay, write green over here like this. All right, so far so good. And come over here and write opacity 0. Why opacity 0? We're gonna hide it. As I told you a little bit earlier that I'm gonna manipulate both of these icons where? On the JavaScript. Let me show you a demo. So this is our final project over here. You can see that we don't have any icons over here, right? So if I write something over here like this, and if I hit submit, then you can see that we have the success icon over here and we didn't write anything over here, which means that we're gonna get the error icon over here. So how is this happening? This is all happening inside the JavaScript, okay? That's why we're gonna write opacity 0. All right, so I'm gonna write over here opacity 0 over here like this and save it. There we go. By the way, do you remember this extra class over here, the error class over here? Let's style this, okay? First of all, write some dummy text like this, okay? And save it, go back to the style.css, and it should be in the color of what? It should be in the color of red color. Do you see this red color over here? You don't have to write anything new. Just put a comma over here and write dot error like this. Save it and look at the result. Now you can see that it is in the color of what? In the color of red color. All right. Now let's set the font size. It should be in the font size of 14.5 pixel. Okay. So just copy this from here, Control C, and paste it over here at the very bottom, Control V, curly braces, F size, and then 14.5 pixel, and save it. There we go. We have this result so far. If I zoom out, then you can see that it looks like this. If you want to specify some gap between this error class and this input, then you can also do it as well. So over here you're gonna write empty, which means margin top, set it to 2px, or you can set it anything you wish. You can also set it to 5px as well. If I zoom out, then you can see that it is visible. Okay, there is it. We have a little bit of gap over here. And now remove this dummy text from here like this. Okay, save it. All right, then now let's style our button over here. So come back to style.css and copy this comment from here, okay, like this. Okay, Control C and paste it over here like this, and over here you're gonna write style rules for the button class. Okay, style rules for button. Oh, it's my bad, sorry. Right over here, style rules for button. This should be enough, and over here you're gonna select the button. So how do you select the button? Come back to HTML. And look at this, we have this button tag over here, and this is the ID, okay? If you remember, we're gonna use this ID where? Inside the JavaScript, okay? So just write the button over here, button like this, curly braces, and save it. Now let's go back over here, and we want it to be in the width of 100%. So W 100% like this, okay? Tab. There we go. We have it 100%. Now let's set the height to 45 pixels, okay? H 45 px tab. There we go, and let's change the color, okay, background color, BGC tab, and write this color, hashtag F29, not 29, sorry, 2796E, okay, save it. Now look at this color over here. We have this color over here, and do you see this And do you see this border over here? This border, wait a second, let me actually show you. Do you see this black colored border over here? We're gonna remove this border. Okay, so how do we do this? We're gonna come over here as well, and we're gonna write border like this, 2px, my bad, sorry, 2px solid, and copy this color from here. Okay, Control C and paste it over here like this, Control S, and look at this color over here. Oh, my bad, sorry, I wrote the wrong thing, not PC, PX. Okay, save it. There we go. Can you see the results over here? We have this. Now if you want to specify some gap between the last input field and this button over here, you can do it as well. So come at the top over here and write empty, which is margin top, write 15px over here like this. There we go. And if you want to specify some border radius, you can do it as well. So come over here and write border radius 8px. Oh, my bad, 8px. Okay, there we go. And let's change the color. Do you see this color over here, the submit color? Change it to white color. Okay, C tab, and set it to hashtag FFF, which means the color white. Okay, save it. There we go. Now set the font size to 20 pixels. Okay, F size tab 20px like this, and save it. Look at that. And if you want to change the font weight, which is optional for you, you can do it as well. FW tab. Okay, write bold. Save it. Look at that. There we go. We have this result so far. Let's actually remove this from here. We don't need it. Okay, it looks quite good. And look at my mouse over here. Okay, we want the cursor to be pointer. Okay, there is no animation over here. Okay, so set it to cursor pointer. Point tab. There we go. We have a little cursor pointer over here. You see this pointer? There we go. Now we need to set the box shadow of our input. Do you see this input box shadow over here? We're gonna paste it over here. Okay, so go to wait a second, over here. Okay, do you see this input over here? The box shadow of this input, just copy it from here like this, Control C, and paste it inside your where button like this, Control V. There we go. Save it and let's check. There we go. We have this result so far. Now look at this. We have no hover effect. If you want to make some hover effect, then follow along with me. Okay, first of all, copy this. Okay, Control C, and paste it over here like this, and then colon and write HOVER, hover. There is it. Okay, and then curly braces over here. You're gonna write opacity 0.8. Okay, save it and look at this over here. You see this? The transition is happening very quickly. Okay, if you want to set some time, you can do it as well. So you're gonna come over here, this button component, and write over here transition. Okay, all 0.1s, which is 100 milliseconds. Okay, 0.1s, and then write is. You can change the time over here as well. You can change it over here as you like. All right, so I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna go back over here. Now look at this. Now I'm gonna come back over here and look at this. Okay, I'm gonna hover my mouse over here. You see this? We have 0.1 seconds of transition over here, and we also have this hover effect. Now look at our design over here. Do you see this color over here around the border? Let me actually zoom in a little bit so that you can better see. So this one is which color? Can you tell which color is this? This is the gray color. Okay, C4, C4, C4. And this color, this orange color over here, will happen whenever we focus on the input field. Okay, so let's make this design. Okay, now come back to your VS Code and style.sass. Okay, do you see this over here? Style rules for form icon. This comment. Before that comment over here, okay, write input. So I'm gonna write over here input. Okay, let me actually maximize this, and then colon, and then write focus over here. Okay, then curly braces, write border, my bad, sorry, border, and write 2px solid. And do you remember this orange color? Wait a second, there is it. Do you remember this orange color? Copy this from here and paste it inside this. Okay, input focus. All right, Control V, and then save it. Look at the result. Okay, I'm gonna minimize this and look at this. All right, now look at the result over here. We have the border color of what? The gray color. Which color? C4, C4, C4. The moment I click over here, it's gonna turn the border color to what? Orange color. Same thing goes over here. Same thing goes over here as well. So it is matching with our design. Do you see this design over here? It is matching with our design. But look at this. We have some text over here, the dummy text, the placeholder text. We have this placeholder text over here as well. Now guys, let's make our placeholder text inside our input fields. Okay, Now I'm back to VS Code. Okay, I'm gonna come to index.html and look at this password over here. Okay, so over here on this input over here. Okay, so at the last over here I'm gonna write placeholder. Okay, placeholder, there is it, and I'm gonna write password here like this. Okay, I'm gonna save it. There we go. And I'm gonna copy this from here, Control C, and paste it where? Inside this email. Okay, and over here. Okay, paste it like this, save it, and over here change it to abc@gmail.com. abc@gmail.com. There we go. And come over here in the username input and paste the code over here like this, Control V, and save it. And then over here you're gonna write anything you wish. You can write your name over here as well. I'm gonna write my own name. Okay, Joy Shaheb. Save it. Now let's look at the result. Okay, now do you see this placeholder text over here, this name over here, this email over here, this password here over here? Okay, you can write anything you wish. You can write the password over here, you can put your email over here as well, and then you can put your name over here as well. We're gonna write the JavaScript in 4 parts. First of all, we're gonna target our ID and classes. So do you remember that we wrote the ID over here for the username input, then we have written this class over here, the error class over here, this success icon over here, this failure icon over here. We can see the similar case for the email input as well as for the password input as well. So we're gonna target all of this ID and classes inside our JavaScript. And then we're gonna attach an event listener to our function, which will be the submit event listener. On the third stage, we're gonna build the function called engine, which will do all sorts of validation work for us. So look at this finished project over here. Do you see the submit button over here? We're gonna attach the event listener, the submit event listener, to our form over here, so that the moment we click this submit button, then it's gonna fire the function named engine, which is this one over here, the engine function over here. Okay, so look at this demo over here. Let's say that I'm gonna write my name over here. Okay, like this. Look at that. Alright, and then I'm gonna keep this blank over here and this one blank over here as well. So the moment I click this, the submit button, then it's gonna fire me the function, the engine function. Okay, look at this. Alright, now look at this. I have written my name over here. That's why it didn't give me an error class over here. And look at this button over here. I got the success icon over here. At the same time, look at this over here. I didn't write the email over here, which means that I'm gonna get the failure icon over here. At the same time, I'm gonna get a message over here. Alright, the same case goes for the password over here. Let's say that I'm gonna delete this from here. Okay, like this. I have deleted that, I have removed this from here. The moment I click this submit, then it's gonna run that function again. Okay, like that. Look at that. I didn't write the name. I removed this name from here, and it's gonna give me this error icon over here. The same case goes for here as well. Let's say that I want to write the password over here, and look at this. I have this error sign over here and this error message over here. The moment I click the submit button over here, then it's gonna get vanished, and then it's gonna give me this success icon over here. So we're gonna build this, and on the fourth stage, we're gonna test our system to check whether everything is working perfectly fine or not. Come back to your HTML, and first of all, we're gonna target the first input, okay, which is this one. Okay, username input. Look at this ID over here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this ID from here, Control C, and then I'm gonna go back to my JavaScript. Okay, and then in order to target the ID inside the JavaScript, first of all, write the let. First of all, create a variable. Okay, let username is equal to document dot get element by ID. Okay, select this one. If you don't get this option, if you see something like this, then do this, Control space, and it's gonna show you this options over here. This is IntelliSense. All right, so let me show that to you again. In case if you write something called get like this, and if you don't get the options, the IntelliSense options, then do this, Control space, then you're gonna get all of these options over here. Okay, and select this one, get element by ID, the first one. All right, this one is used to select ID from the HTML. Look at this over here. I have this ID, right? So I'm gonna use this element to select my ID from the HTML. All right, and then I'm gonna give over here brackets and then double quotes over here, and then I'm gonna write what? This one. Look at this, the ID, which is the username. All right, so I'm gonna paste it over here like this, Control V. There we go, and then semicolon over here, and then I'm gonna write let again. Okay, let, and then what is the next input, which is the email. All right, so I'm gonna copy this email from here like this, Control C, and then go back, Control V over here, and then look at this. Okay, document dot get. Okay, look at this. I don't have this option. I don't have the IntelliSense. what will I do? I'm gonna do this, control space, there we go, then get element by ID, boom. All right, then brackets, double quotes, and paste the email over here. All right, come over here and do let again, and look at this, look at the last input, which is the password. Copy the ID from here, come back, paste it over here, then equal to document dot get element by ID, this one. All right, and then bracket, double quotes, paste it over here like this. So look at this code over here. Do you see anything similar? Look at this over here. We are repeating the same code again and again and again. Look at this let over here, this let over here. All right, and look at this document.get element by ID. We're repeating the same code again and again. So there is a shortcut solution to this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you this. Okay, let's say that I have three variables, okay, A, B, and C. So how do I write this? I write like this, right? Let A semicolon, then let B semicolon, and then let C, right? So in order to declare three variables, we write it like this, right? But if we use the comma instead of the semicolon, then you can write something like this. Look, all right, so I'm gonna declare three variables over here. Look at this, let A comma B comma C. Look at this. Now look at this over here. I just wrote let one time, and then by using comma I have declared two more variables over here, which means that I can save some code and time as well. Now I'm going to apply this principle over here. Okay, so follow along with me. So I'm going to remove this semicolon from here and put a comma over here like this. Remove this semicolon, put a comma over here like this, and then remove this let from here. All right, like this. Remove this let from here as well. But look, you have to put the last semicolon over here, otherwise it's not gonna work. All right, so I'm gonna remove this from here like this, and I'm gonna save it. And now look at this over here, document.get element by ID. I am repeating the same thing three times. All right, so I'm gonna create a small function. I'm gonna create a small arrow function which will stop our code repetition. All right, so look, so follow along with me. Okay, so come over here and write let ID. Why ID? Because we are targeting our ID from the HTML. All right, so we're gonna name the function, the arrow function, ID. All right, so we're gonna do equal to and then brackets over here. All right, and then we're gonna make an arrow sign over here like this. All right, and look at this, curly braces, then enter. All right, so I'm gonna write over here what, this one over here. All right, now I'm gonna copy this from here like this, Control C, and I'm gonna paste it over here like this, Control V, and then brackets. All right, and now I'm gonna pass an argument over here. I'm gonna write over here ID. At the same time, I'm gonna pass this argument over here like this. There we go. Now look at this very carefully. Whenever you use an arrow function, you must write a return word. All right, you have to write return over here, otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay, let me show you, return like this. All right, but let's say that you don't want to write this return over here. You don't want to write this return word over here. Then you can do this as well. You have to write this arrow function in a single line. Okay, something like this. Look at this. I'm gonna remove this curly bracket from here like this, and then I'm gonna remove this one from here as well. There we go, and remove this curly bracket from here as well. Now look at this. I have written this entire statement in a single line. If you write an arrow function in a single line, then return statement will be added over here automatically, which means that you don't have to worry about anything. All right, so look at this over here. We have successfully made our arrow function over here, which is the name ID. All right, now I'm going to remove this from here like this, and I'm going to write what, ID over here. All right, now look at this. I am stopping our code repetition. All right, look at this. I'm going to write over here ID like this, and I'm going to write the ID over here like this. All right, there we go. Mission accomplished. Now we're going to target all our classes from the HTML. Okay, so come back to the HTML and look at this. First of all, we're going to target the error class. Okay, now look at this over here. Do you see this error class over here inside this div? So count with me how many divs have the same error class name. Okay, so look at this, 1. All right, sorry, 1, and then look at this, 2. All right, and look at this over here, 3. So I have 3 divs with the same class name. In order to target all of them together, look at this, what I do. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the JavaScript part, and then I'm going to remove this semicolon from here, and then I'm going to put a comma over here. All right, and then I'm going to write over here error, okay, M, capital letter M, okay, SG, small letter error, and then capital letter M, and then SG. Okay, look at this. I'm going to zoom in real quick so that you can see this as well, and don't make any spelling mistakes. Okay, error message. All right, and then equal to. All right, and then I'm going to write over here document dot wait a second, get elements by class name. This one, okay, get elements. Do you see this S over here? Do you know what this means? It means that it's gonna select multiple class names. Okay, so I'm gonna write over here brackets and then double quotes over here. Okay, so what's the class name over here? Error. Okay, so just copy this from here, paste it over here like this, Control V, and then semicolon over here to end the statement. All right, now let me explain what the selector is doing over here. All right, it's gonna select all the divs with the class name error, and then it's gonna get stored inside an array. Let me show you a demo. Okay, so look at the HTML over here. So count with me, how many divs do I have with the same error class name? Okay, 1, 2, and then 3. All right, so it's gonna get stored inside an array like this. Look at this. So look at this demo over here. Okay, error over here, and then equal to, and then I'm gonna make an array over here like this, square bracket. Okay, and then it's gonna store like this. All right, error, error, and then error. All right, this first one belongs to whom? The input. The second one belongs to the email, and the last one belongs to the password. Okay, so look at this serial over here. This is the 0, this is 1, and this one is 2. So let's say that if you want to select the email, so how do you select this one? All right, so look, follow along with me. In order to select the email, you're gonna write like this. Okay, error. Okay, and then you're gonna write square bracket over here, and then look at the serial. This is 0, 1, 2. Okay, so you're gonna write 1 over here like this, and then let's say that for testing purposes we're gonna inject some HTML, all right, inside the error class of the email input. All right, so you're gonna write dot inner HTML like this. All right, and then equal to double quotes, write some custom message over here like this. Okay, so save it. Now let's look at the result. By the way, remove this from here, otherwise you're not gonna see anything. Okay, so remove this from here like this and save it. Now look at the result. There we go. We can see some message over here. Let's say that you want to inject this message inside the password over here. All right, so how to do this? So come back over here and write over here 2. Now look at this, the same message got injected inside the error class of whom? The password input. All right, I hope you understood how to utilize the get elements by class name selector. All right, so I'm going to remove this from here like this, and then the next step is we're gonna select this success icon. Okay, so how to do this? Follow along with me. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna write over here comma and then success icon. Okay, like this, not like this. Okay, so capital letter I and then CON. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in real quick so that you can see this. Okay, success icon, there is a capital letter I over here, and then everything is lowercase letter. Okay, and then equal to, you're gonna write the same thing over here, but don't worry, we're gonna make a small arrow function over here like this. Okay, for the class names. All right, so I'm gonna copy this from here like this, Control C, and then paste it over here like this, Control V, and then bracket double quotes, and come back to the HTML and copy this from here. Okay, success icon, Control C and Control V over here like this, put the comma over here like this, and over here you're gonna write failure icon. Okay, failure icon. All right, equal to FAILUREICO. Yeah, that's okay. And then you're gonna write document dot get elements by class name, this one. All right, brackets double quotes, come back to HTML, copy this from here. Okay, failure icon, Control C, Control V over here like this. All right, and then end the statement by writing semicolon. There we go. Now let's change this code. Okay, we're just repeating the same code again and again and again. Okay, so you're gonna come over here and make a small arrow function. Okay, so let classes. Okay, classes equal to, you're gonna write over here the argument classes as well, classes. All right, and then arrow sign over here, and then finish the statement in a single line. All right, so you're gonna copy this from here like this, Control C, Control V over here like this. Okay, then bracket and then copy this from here, the argument, and paste it over here like this. There we go, and then end the statement with a semicolon. Boom. Okay, and then copy this from here like this, and then paste it over here like this. Control V and Control V over here as well. There we go, there we go. All right, so far so good. we have completed the first step, which is to target our ID and classes. Now we're gonna add the event listener, the submit event listener to our form. Now come back to the HTML and search for the form tag. Okay, so you're gonna scroll up and look at this over here. Do you see this form tag over here? It has the ID, the form ID inside the form tag. So how to select this inside the JavaScript? Okay, so come back to the JavaScript and then you're gonna write over here, okay, enter form, all right, equal to, what is this? Look at this, this is an ID, right? So I have written this small arrow function over here. Okay, so I'm gonna write over here ID over here like this, and then brackets, double quotes, and I'm gonna write over here what? This one. Look at this. Oh, sorry, not this one. Control C, and then paste it over here like this. There we go. And also don't forget to write this comma over here. Okay, otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay, like this. There we go. Save it. Now listen, I'm gonna add an event listener to this. All right, so how to write that? Okay, I'm gonna come over here and write form. All right, and then dot add event, this one. Okay, if you don't see this option, do this. Okay, so control and then space like this, and you're gonna find this option over here. All right, add event listener. There we go. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna write bracket over here and then double quotes, and you're gonna write the submit over here, submit like this, and then comma, and then you're gonna create a small arrow function over here like this. Okay, don't worry, I'm gonna explain. Okay, like this. There we go, arrow function over here like this. Here is it. Now let me explain what this means. Okay, so we have added an event listener to our form. Which event listener? The submit event listener, which means that the moment we submit our form by clicking that submit button, is gonna fire this function over here. Do you see this function over here? It's gonna fire this function. This function, I mean, inside this function we can specify any function. Let's say that we're gonna input an error message inside the password the moment we submit the form. All right, something like this. Look, error message. All right, and in order to submit the password, which is in the serial of 2, okay, count with me. Look at this username. This is 0, this one is 1, and this one is what? 2. All right, so come back to the JavaScript, and then over here you're gonna write 2. All right, and then over here I'm gonna write inner HTML like this, and then equal to, and then I'm gonna write over here custom message like this, double quotes, and then write anything you wish. Okay, save it. Now come back to the result over here and look at this. I have added an event listener to my form. Okay, the moment I click this submit button, it's gonna fire that function. Do you remember that function? Do you remember that I have written this function over here? Look at this arrow function over here. The moment I click the submit button, it's gonna fire this function, and we're gonna see a message inside where? Inside, I mean below our password input. Look at this over here. Now I'm back to the result. Look at this. The moment I click over here, look at this. Did you see that flickering? Look at this again. Okay, look at this. There we go. If I click multiple times, then you can see the flickering behavior. Okay, I mean the message comes and went away. I mean the message comes and goes away very quickly. Okay, look at this again. Look at this. All right, I'm multi-clicking over here so that we can see that. Okay, so it is just flickering. I mean it's coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. In order to stop this behavior, we write this. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to the VS Code over here, and then I'm gonna write over here an E. All right, this is an argument. Okay, and then inside over here I'm gonna write e dot prevent default. Okay, do you see this do you see this option over here, prevent default, and then brackets over here, and then you're gonna write over here semicolon. Okay, this statement over here will stop that unexpected behavior. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize this, come back over here. Now look at the result. Okay, now look at this over here. The moment I click the submit button over here, I'm gonna get this message over here, and it's gonna stay over here without any flickering. I hope you understood why we write this prevent default statement over here. Now remove this from here like this. All right, and let's go back to our result. Okay, so come back over here. Now what do we want? The user submits the form without writing anything. All right, let's say that I didn't write the username over here, but I wrote the email over here, and then I wrote the password over here like this. All right, so the moment the user submits the form, he is gonna see success icon over here, failure icon over here, failure icon over here, and he is gonna get a custom message over here and here, which will remind him to write the username and the email over here. We want this behavior. So first of all, let's go back to the VS Code. So our first condition is to inject the error message the moment the user submits a blank form. All right, so how to do this? I'm gonna write over here, inside over here. All right, we're gonna use an if statement, okay, like this. Look, if bracket over here, and then we're gonna write this, okay, username. Okay, I'm gonna copy this from here and then paste it over here like this. Okay, so username dot value, all right, which means that it's gonna extract the input the user has written through his keyboard. All right, so username dot value equal to, you're gonna write equal sign 3 times like this. Okay, if it is empty, no, not that, empty. If this username is empty, then it's gonna give us this custom message like this. Look at this. Okay, curly braces over here, and then we're gonna write over here error message. So look at this serial. Okay, this is the username over here, this is the serial, this is in the serial of 0. All right, so we're gonna write over here 0, and then we're gonna write over here dot inner HTML, and then equal to, we're gonna write message over here. What are we gonna write? We're gonna write over here username cannot be blank. Okay, user name cannot be blank. All right, now let's check whether this works or not. All right, so I'm gonna come back to my browser, and look at this. I'm gonna submit it by default like this. Look at this. All right, look at this. I submitted this by default, and I'm gonna get this message over here, username cannot be blank, in red color. This is my error message. Even if I write something like this, now look at this, if I submit this, I'm still gonna get this message over here. So in order to prevent this behavior, we're gonna write this. Okay, so come back on the VS Code and write over here else. All right, else, and then curly braces. All right, you're gonna write over here, you're gonna copy this from here like this, Control C and Control V over here, and you're gonna just keep it blank over here like this. Look at this, just empty over here, and then save it. Now let's go back over this results page over here, and look at this. I'm gonna submit it blank like this. Look at this, I'm gonna get this message over here. But if I write something over here like this, now look at this, I'm gonna submit over here, and this error message went away. All right, so I'm gonna remove this from here again, and I'm gonna submit this. Okay, so along with the error message over here, I want the error warning over here as well. So how to do that? Come back to VS Code and look at this over here. We have the failure icon. All right, so do you remember the serial? Look at this, we have it in the serial of 0 because it is inside the username. All right, so we have stored this inside what? Inside an array. All right, so you're gonna come over here, where? Over here. All right, so and then I'm gonna write over here failure icon. Okay, this one, and then it's gonna be in the serial of 0. All right, and then I'm gonna write over here what? Style dot not this one, sorry, style dot opacity. All right, opacity, okay, equal to, it should be in the value of 1. All right, so why am I using this opacity over here? Do you remember in your styles that we wrote this one? Let me actually show you. Do you remember this? For the success icon and for the failure icon, it is in the value of what? It is in the value of 0. The opacity is 0, which means that we cannot see the success icon or the failure icon. When can we see this? The moment if the user submits the form without filling the blanks, then we're gonna see the failure icon over here like this. All right, then I'm gonna save it like this, and let's go back to the browser to check whether it's working or not. All right, look at this, I'm gonna submit it blank. There we go, we have our error icon over here, and we have our error message over here, which means that's success. But if you write something over here like this, now look at this, if I submit it over here, now look at this, I have this error sign over here, which we don't want. So in order to prevent this behavior, come back to VS Code over here, and then you're gonna write over here success icon. Okay, success icon. Okay, you're gonna select the 0, which is targeting for the username input. Okay, dot style dot opacity equal to it should be 1. All right, there we go, and then you're gonna minimize this, go back to the browser, and look at this, I'm gonna submit it blank. Boom. All right, we got this exclamatory sign over here, this error message over here. Let's say that I want to write the username. Okay, like this, look at that. All right, and then I'm gonna submit it like this. Look at this, the success icon is getting overlapped on the error icon. Okay, so in order to prevent this behavior, come back to VS Code and do this, copy this from here. Okay, copy the same thing, paste it over here like this, but in this case you're gonna put a 0 over here like this. In the same case, just In the same way, copy the success icon from here, okay, and paste it over here like this. There we go, and replace it with 0 like this. So look at this. In the if statement, we have the failure icon getting highlighted. I mean, the opacity would be 1, and for the success icon it would be 0. On the else statement, the error icon will go away through this opacity 0, and the success icon will come back. Okay, now save it. Let's go back to the browser and check whether it's working or not. I'm gonna submit this blank. Look at this. I have this error icon over here, this message over here. Now let's write something over here like this. Submit it over here. Now look at this. The error message goes away, the error icon goes away, and we have this success icon over here like this. Let's say that I want to remove this again and submit it. Look at that. We have the same behavior, which is our function is working perfectly fine. Now let's go back to our VS Code over here. Now look at this. I have how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 lines, which means that I have to repeat the same code for how many times? Look at this. How many inputs do I have? 1, 2, and then 3. We have 3 inputs, which means that we have to repeat the same code 3 times. Don't do this. Create a small function over here. Look at this. Let engine, all right, equal to, we're gonna name it engine, okay, and then equal to, put brackets over here, and then create an arrow sign over here like this, okay, then curly braces over here, and do this. Follow along with me. I'm gonna cut it from here like this, okay, Control X, all right, and I'm gonna paste it over here like this, Control V. Now we have created this function called engine, all right, and now I'm gonna change this from here. Instead of the username, I'm gonna write over here ID, okay, like this. Follow along with me. ID over here, and then I'm gonna put this inside this argument over here, okay, ID. There we go. And instead of this 0 over here, I'm gonna write over here serial, okay. It should be serial like this, SERIAL like this, okay. And then I'm gonna copy this from here, Control C, and then I'm gonna paste it over here. Same goes for all these cases over here like this. There we go. Over here as well. There we go. And now I'm gonna put this condition over here in this argument over here like this, after writing a comma, all right, and then paste it over here like this. There we go. And do you see this message over here? I'm gonna remove this from here, and I'm gonna write over here message, okay, MESSAGE, all right, then copy it from here like this, Control C, and paste it over here like this. There we go. And we are done making this function. So how do we trigger this function? Okay, come over here, all right, and over here you're gonna write, first of all, you're gonna write the name of this function, which is engine, all right, engine. Then in which inputs do you want this logic to work on? Okay, you're gonna write the name of that ID, which is, let's say that I want to write in the email, okay, so I'm gonna copy this email from here, and then I'm gonna paste it over here like this, and then you have to write the serial. This is in which serial? Count with me. This is the 0, this is the 1, and this one is the 2. Alright, so you're gonna write over here 1. Okay, so you're gonna write 1 over here, and then comma, and then you're gonna write a custom message over here, which is email cannot be blank. Email cannot be blank. Alright, now semicolon over here, save it. Now let's test our function. Okay, so come back to the browser and look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna submit this form blank. Now look at this. I have this error sign inside my email input along with the error icon over here. Let's say that I want to write an email. Okay, abc@gmail.com. There you go. If I submit this like this, look at this. I have this success icon over here, which means that our form is working perfectly fine. I mean our logics are working perfectly fine without any problems. So come back to VS Code and then write the same thing 3 times. Okay, Control C and paste it over here like this. All right, same thing over here as well. So this one you're gonna write over here username. Okay, username, and over here you're gonna write password. Okay, follow along with me, password, and then you're gonna change the serial to 0. This will be 1 and this one will be 2. All right, over here you're gonna write username. Username cannot be blank, email cannot be blank. This is correct. And over here you're gonna write password. Password word cannot be blank. Okay, save it. Now let's go and check. All right, look at this. I'm gonna submit this completely blank. There we go. I have 3 messages over here. Username cannot be blank, email cannot be blank, password cannot be blank. Along with that, we have our error icon over here. Do you see this red colored error icon? Alright, let's say that I want to write my password over here, okay, and then submit this icon, submit this button, submit this form, and look at this, I have this success icon over here, but failure icon for all the 2 cases, along with the custom error message over here. Let's say that I want to write the name over here like this, look at this, submit, and now look, it's working perfectly fine. But look at this case over here. Let's say that I want to submit this one blank, along with a lot of spaces, look at this. I'm going to hit the space bar, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I submit this over here, look at this, it's still gonna give me success icon. Why is that? How is this even possible? Look at this, this is just complete blank, I didn't write anything, okay. Let me zoom in a little bit, okay. Look at this, alright, can you see this cursor over here? There we go, we have this cursor, look at this. I'm gonna hit the space bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, alright. Now look, I'm gonna submit this, look at this. It's still gonna give me success icon. Why is that? Let me explain this behavior to you. Now look at this illustration over here. If the user submits the form as blank, then the value will look something like this. It's gonna be empty, it's gonna be null. But if they give a lot of spaces over here, then JavaScript will not consider this empty or null. It's gonna consider that there is some value over here. Same case, look at these cases over here, alright? But we want JavaScript to catch this value over here without any spaces on the left or spaces on the end over here. So how do we do this? How do we accomplish this mission? Follow along with me. Come back to VS Code and just simply come over here, alright, and write this simple function, okay, dot trim. There we go, and don't forget to write this bracket over here, otherwise it's not gonna work, okay. Now save it. Now let's go back to VS Code. Now look at this, I'm gonna put a lot of spaces over here like this. Look, I am putting a lot of spaces. Now look, I'm gonna submit, and it's not gonna be considered as a value, it's gonna be considered as empty, because JavaScript in the backend will remove all those extra spaces. Now look at this over here, I'm gonna write my name over here like this, after putting a lot of spaces over here and putting a lot of spaces over here as well. Look at this, alright. If I submit over here, now look at this, in the backend, in the JavaScript, those extra spaces will get removed because of that function. Which function? This trim function over here. I hope you understood the JavaScript part. So far we have successfully completed making our form. This form over here, you see this? We have successfully made this. At the same time, it works properly. Now we're gonna complete our entire project, okay? So first of all, we're gonna focus on the right side, okay? Do you see these buttons over here? This sign up button with Google, then sign up with Facebook button, then we have this or option over here, and we have some text over here. We're gonna first of all focus on the right side, okay? We're gonna build this one, and then we're gonna build this one over here, alright? So let's go back to VS Code. Now come back to VS Code inside your HTML document, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this code, okay? Do you see this div over here? It carries our input field, okay? Fold this code, okay? At the same time, fold your email input and fold your password input as well. Now look at that, we have our code over here, and now come below this form tag over here and create a new div with the class name social, okay? Div dot social, all right, tab, and inside over here you're gonna nest this title over here. You see this title, you're gonna cut it from here and paste it over here like this, okay? Control V. There we go. Now create this class, okay, dot question, okay, and then hit tab, all right, and over here you're gonna write already have an account, all right, question mark over here, and then br tag, all right, br tab. There we go. And over here you're gonna write span, all right, tab, and then you're gonna write over here sign in. There we go, and then save it, all right. And over here you're gonna write a div with a class name button. Look at this, dot btn tab, okay. Inside this button you're gonna create 2 more buttons, okay. Look at this, dot btn 1, all right, plus dot btn hyphen 2, all right, then hit tab. There we go. We have, all right, we have created 2 buttons, okay. So this will hold, first one will hold the Google button, and this one will hold the Facebook button according to our design, okay. So look at this design over here. Do you see this? First of all, we have the title, that get started, and then we have this question over here, then these 2 buttons over here, and then this, this or text over here, okay. So let's input this or text. So come back over here and below this, okay? I mean over here. Over here you're gonna write .or, okay? Then hit tab, alright? And you're gonna write over here or, like this. Alright, save it. Now let's look at the result. Alright, so far we got this. Now look at this color over here, okay? We're gonna make this text to this color over here. So how to do this? Come back to VS Code on the style.css and look at this over here. You see this? Style rules for form icons. So above this, you're gonna create a new comment, okay? And like this, okay? Follow along with me. You're gonna make this comment, and then over here you're gonna write, wait a second. You're gonna write over here style. Oh, by the way, you copy this from here. Style rules from this one, and over here you're gonna write style rules for social, okay? Social section. All right, there we go. And over here you're gonna write .or, all right, and you're gonna write TA tab, which is text align center. There we go. And for the span tag, you're gonna write span curly braces, and you're gonna write over here color. Oh, not this one, sorry, color. This one, and find that color. Do you see this color over here? Copy this color from here, Control C, and paste it over here like this, Control V. Save it. Now look at the result. Look at this. We have this color over here, and we also want the cursor to be pointed. Okay, poi. There we go. Save it. Look at the result. There we go. We have this text at the very center over here, and we have this option. Okay, so let's make this option, let's make this text a little smaller. All right, so come back over here on the VS Code. Let me make it smaller so that you can see as well over here. All right, so we're gonna make this, we're gonna make the question over here. Okay, dot question. I'm selecting the whole thing. All right, this entire question. All right, you're gonna write over here S. All right, you're gonna write over here F size, which is font size. Let's make it 15 pixels. Okay, save it. Let's make it 14 actually. No, 15 is quite good because we are already zoomed in. All right, so if I go to the original one like this, look at this. It looks already small. All right, boys and girls, we're gonna input the buttons right now. If you're using Font Awesome and if you write Google over here, then look at this over here. You will not find any icon which is colored. You will just find black and white icons over here. But in our design, do you see this over here? We need colored buttons like this. Look at this. We have our colored button over here, the Google button, not black and white. So how do we fix this problem? So come over to Google and write over here icons 8. Like this, icons 8, and click the first option over here, and you're gonna write Google over here. Okay, Google like this, and look at the result. There we go. We have a lot of options which is colored. Okay, so I'm gonna click this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna select this one, embed HTML. All right, now look at this. I have a lot of options over here. Okay, so select the font size, but I'm just gonna take this from here like this. I'm gonna click over here, and it's gonna get automatically copied. All right, so I'm gonna come back to VS Code like this and maximize this on the HTML. All right, so look at this over here. Do you see this button 1? I'm gonna paste the code over here like this, Control V, and then over here I'm gonna write over here sign up like this. Let's make it capital letter, sign up. Now look at this over here. Do you see this? It is how much? 48 pixels. If you want to change the size, you can do it as well. Let me actually show you live over here. Let me actually fetch the result. Look at this. Okay, this is how much. This is 48 pixels. If I want to make it smaller, look at this. I'm gonna make it smaller to, let's say, 30 pixels over here like this. Save it. Now look at that, it became smaller. You can change the icon size as you like. All right, but for this tutorial I'm gonna make it 30 pixels. In the same way, import the Facebook icon. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to icons 8, and then I'm gonna write over here Facebook. All right, and then let's look for the icons, and I'm gonna scroll down over here, and then I'm gonna scroll down, and let's say that I want to select this one. Okay, not this one. Let's select this one. Okay, which is written Facebook logo. All right, now I'm gonna copy this code from here like this, and then I'm gonna click over here like this. All right, it's gonna get copied. Now let's come back to VS Code and maximize this. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm gonna maximize this like this, and then look at this button number 2. Okay, I'm gonna paste it over here like this. Okay, Control V, and then over here I'm gonna sign up. All right, I'm gonna write this sign up over here. Let me make this U capital letter. There we go. And look at this icon size over here. This is how much is this? This is 50 pixels, but we want it to be in 30 pixels. Okay, so I'm gonna write over here 30 over here like this, and I'm gonna save it. There we go. Let's look at the result. All right, now look at this over here. I have the Facebook icon in black color. So do you see this icon over here, and do you see this text over here? It is not aligned equally. I mean it's not aligned at the center horizontally. Now let's do that. All right. Now I'm gonna pull VS Code over here like this, and look at this over here. Style rules for social section. Okay. Below this, I'm gonna write my styles. Okay. So follow along with me. I'm gonna target the button 1 and button 2. Okay. Dot btn -1 comma dot btn -2. All right. Curly braces. Now look at this. I'm gonna write over here df, which means display flex. All right. And then jc tab. Okay. Justify content center, and then align items center. Okay. ai tab center. All right. So we have this result so far. Now let's add border radius and border to our buttons over here so that it becomes distinct and visible. All right. So come back to VS Code over here and write over here border. All right. 2px solid hashtag C4, which is the gray color. All right. Now look at this over here. Do you see this do you see this result over here? We found this so far. Now set the border radius to 8 pixel. Okay. Border radius to 8 pixel like this. There we go, and save it. Look at this. Now let's add some shadow. Okay, which is the box shadow. Do you see this box shadow over here? We're gonna copy the code and paste it over here. All right, let's do it. And open VS Code over here and search for that box shadow property. Okay, it is at the top over here. There we go. We have this. So I'm gonna copy this from. Let me actually make it bigger so that you can better see. So I'm gonna copy this from here. Okay, Control C and paste it inside where? Inside these buttons over here like this. Okay, Control V. All right. So I'm gonna save it over here before your eyes so that you can also see it. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Now look at this. It got. Our buttons got box shadow property. All right. Now look at the orientation of this button. All right, and look at the orientation of this button. Look at this over here. So we're gonna keep it left to right. All right. So how to do this? Follow along with me. Okay. So come back to VS Code. And over here you're gonna write dot button. Okay, dot btn curly braces. Okay, you write df tab. All right. Do you know what's the default position of flex direction? It is row. Even if you don't write it, no problem. Okay. So if I save it like this, look at this. It gives us this result over here. All right. So if I come back over here and if I write over here, flex direction row, nothing will change because this is already the default behavior. Now look at this over here. We don't have any gap in between. All right. So if you want to put some gap, now look at this what I do. Okay. So I'm going to come back to VS Code over here, and then I'm going to write over here justify content. Let me actually maximize this. I'm going to write over here space between. All right. Then I'm going to save it. Now look at this over here. Do you see this? We have a lot of gap over here. So I'm going to come back to VS Code again, and I'm going to write over here with 100%. Okay. W 100% tab. There we go. And if I save it, look at this. But still, we don't have gap in between. Okay. So in order to put gap, come to VS Code again and look at this property over here. I'm going to write over here gap 15, not this one, sorry. Gap 15 pixels. Save it. Now look at this. I have some gap over here. Do you see that we don't have any padding at the top and the bottom? We're going to add some padding to our button. Okay. Follow along with me. So come over here and write padding. Sorry, not this one. Padding. Not this one as well. Padding. Top to bottom would be 10 pixels. Okay. And for the left and right, it would be 5 pixels like this. There we go. If I save it, look at this. I have some padding at the top, bottom, left and right as well. Look at this. It looks quite good compared to the last design. All right. Now look at this icon over here and look at this text over here. Do you see this? We don't have any gap in between. Let's put some gap in between. Okay, so come back over here, and over here you're gonna write below this display flex. Below this display flex, okay? Gap 15 pixels. Okay, save it. Now look at this. I have some gap over here of 15 pixels. If you can also adjust the gap over here as you like by changing this value over here. All right. Now look at the color of this button over here. Do you see this? It is blue in color and the text color is white. All right, so let's recreate this. So come back to VS Code over here and just select the button number 2. How to do that? Below this one, okay, so you're gonna write dot btn -2, okay, curly braces, and look at this bgc tab. Okay, so I'm gonna paste this color over here, Control V. Look at this. Okay, and wait a second. So pause the video, take a moment and write this color over here. Let me read it for you. For F70B5. All right, and then write color not this one, sorry. Color is gonna be white, okay, white like this, okay. Save it. Now let's look at the result. Look at this. But we have our button in which color? Black color. We want it to be in which color? White color. All right. So come back to VS Code and come back to the HTML. Do you see this over here? It is in which color? This is the Facebook button. Okay. It is in black color. Look at this. 0 0 0. I mean 6 times 0. Okay. Change it to FFF. FFF, which means 6 times F. Right. 6 times F is gonna give us the color white. All right. Now let's go back to VS Code. I mean the result. Look at this over here. We have the white colored icon along with white colored text. So it looks like our design over here. Look at that. You see this? And this over here. Look at this. We are done making the right section, this form section over here. Now we're gonna make the left section. Do you see this section over here? And we're gonna name this content. Alright. So come back to the HTML on the VS Code. Now on the HTML, do you see this little icon over here? Okay, so you're gonna click this and it's gonna fold our code, the form section. All right, over here you're gonna hit enter. All right, and now you're gonna create a new div with the class name content. All right, dot content, then hit tab. All right, inside over here we're gonna first of all let's look at the design. All right, look at this. We need what? We need a logo, we need the image, and then what? We need some text. All right, so come back over here and I'm gonna create 3 divs with the class name logo, image, and text. All right, so follow along with me. First of all, write dot logo, okay, and then plus, then write dot image, all right, and then plus, and then dot text. All right, so not this, there we go, and then hit tab like this. There we go. We have 3 divs with the class names logo, image, and the text. The source code of today's project is inside my GitHub profile. Okay, so by the way, the GitHub link will be given in the description down below. All right, so this is the link. Through the link you're gonna find this. Okay, this is the source code for today's project. You can see that we have the CSS over here, the index, the main.js. Along with that we have this one, the images. Okay, if I click over here, look at this. I have this images over here, the illustration and the logo. Look at this. This is the illustration and this one is a logo. All right, but look at this. GitHub doesn't give us a download option over here. So what you're gonna do is follow along with me. Okay, you're gonna copy the link from here like this, Control C, and then you're gonna scroll down like this. Okay, and then you're gonna find this link. Okay, it is called down git. Follow along with me. Okay, so you're gonna click the down git over here, and then you're gonna find this interface over here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna paste the link over here like this, Control V. All right, and then you're gonna click this. Okay, download. Now look at this. It's gonna download me the source code from the GitHub repository. All right, so I'm gonna click over here like this, and then I'm gonna go to desktop. All right, like this. There we go, and I'm gonna click cross like this, and look at this. I have this folder over here. Okay, so I'm gonna drag it outside like this. Okay, I'm gonna keep it over here like this. All right, I'm gonna close it, and I'm gonna go inside over here, and look at this. I have downloaded the source code successfully. All right, so look at this images over here. I have the logo and the illustration in SVG format. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over here. You see this images. I'm gonna drag it outside. Oh, not this, sorry. I'm gonna drag this. I'm gonna drag the images folder outside like this. Look at that. All right, and then I'm gonna keep it where? Inside my project folder over here like this. There we go. And look at this. I have my images inside here. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my VS Code over here like this, and then I'm gonna Control B over here like this, and then I'm gonna select this files option over here, and look at this. I have this images folder over here. There we go. Look at that. I have the logo and the illustration as well. Now I'm going to include the logo over here. All right, so follow along with me. So enter and then write img tab. All right, over here, instead of writing manually, do this, Control space, and IntelliSense will automatically generate you the path. Okay, I mean the file path. All right, so you're gonna click the images over here, and then look at this logo, click this. All right, now save it. Let's go back to the browser. Do you see this text over here? What is this written? Start for free and get attractive offers today. All right, so let's write it inside the text div. So come to VS Code over here, and over here you're gonna write start for free for not this, for free, and not this, and sorry, this one, and get. And what was it? Let me check again. Start for free and get attractive offers today. Attractive offers today. There we go, and let's look at the result so far. All right, So ladies and gentlemen, this is the result so far. Look at this. We cannot see our logo. That's because it is white in color. If I look at the design over here, look at this. It is in which color? It is white in color, right? That's why we cannot see the logo over here. But we have our text over here, and in the middle we're gonna include the image, alright? But look at this very carefully. In which format is it in? It is in column, alright? But we want it to be in which format? In the row format. I mean in this direction. We want the direction to be row. Look at this over here, okay? This is the row, alright? Like this. So in order to solve this problem, come back to VS Code and then come to style.css, alright? So look at this over here. This is what? This is my body section, and below the body section you're gonna write the container. Do you remember the container? Writing the container over here like this. Copy this from here, Control C, alright? And then paste it over here like this by this dot, not this dot, and then paste it over here like this, okay? Dot container, okay? And then curly braces. And then inside over here we're gonna use the display flex, alright? Like this, DF, and then hit tab, alright? If you write display flex anywhere, then the default value of the flex direction would be row. Look at this, F dir, alright, tab, and it should be row. If you don't write this, then no problem, because this is the default value anyways, okay? So save it. Now look at the result, alright? I'm gonna minimize this. Look at the result. So this is my form over here, and this is my content section over here. Do you remember that we have written the content section inside the HTML? Look at this. You see this over here? This is the content section, and below this we have the form section, okay? So we have this result so far. Now look at this. On the design, we have the background color to be this color, okay? Light orange color. So come back to VS Code and change the content to that color, alright? But before that, below this container, write this comment, alright? By the way, copy this from here like this, Control C, and paste it over here like this, and you're gonna write style rules for which section? The content section, okay? Dot content section, alright? You're gonna write this over here. Now look at this. Go to HTML and copy the content from there, alright? Control C and come back over here and then dot, paste it over here like this, curly braces, alright? And now you're gonna write BGC tab, alright? And search for that color, okay? The orange color. So where is it? Here is it, alright? So I'm gonna copy this from here like this, Control C, and paste it where? Over here, alright? Control V. Save it. Look at the result. If it gives us that, here is it. We have this result so far. Now we're gonna stretch it from the left to the right and from the top to the bottom. So how do we do this? Alright, so come back to the content section over here, and you're gonna write over here width, okay? Width, set it to 55%, alright? And this is the content, okay? But we also have the form. Where is the form? Search for the form. Here is it. So what is the max width of the form? 400 pixels, right? Replace this with 45%. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna comment this from here and write width over here. How much? 45%. There we go. Save it. Now let's go and look at the result. So this is the result so far. Okay, so now we need to stretch it from the top to the bottom. How to do this? Okay, follow along with me. Come back to VS Code, and over here you see this content. You're gonna write over here minimum height. Okay, min height 100 VH. Okay, save it. Look at the result. There we go. We solved the problem. Alright guys, look at this. Our form over here is not aligned at the center over here. Okay, so let's fix this. So come back to VS Code over here, and then do you see this form section over here? You're gonna come over here, and first of all you're gonna write display flex. Okay, DF tab. Now let's look at the result real quick. What happened so far? Alright, so come back to the browser and look at this over here. We have this mess over here. It is behaving like a row, which is the default value. Alright, so come back and write over here flex direction. Okay, so you're gonna come over here and write flex direction, this one, okay, and write column. Alright, now look at this. Look at the result over here. Look at this. This is as it is. Okay, so in order to align our content, align our form at the exact center, use this property. Okay, justify content center. Okay, JC tab. Over here you're gonna write center. Alright, justify content center. Now look at the result. There we go. We have placed our content, placed our form at the exact center over here like this. There we go. Now let's place our illustration over here, but before that let's set some gap. Let's set some padding over here and over here. Alright, so come back to VS Code, and on the content section you see this content over here like this. Over here you're gonna write padding. Alright, for the top and bottom set it to 0, or perhaps you can also set 10 pixel over here like this, and for the left and right you're gonna set 20 pixel over here like this. There we go. Save it. Look at the result. Now look at this, we have 10 pixel padding at the top over here, okay, and then we have 20 pixels of padding where? Over here and here, okay. So 10 over here, 10 at the bottom, 20 over here, 20 at the right side over here. There we go. Now let's place the image. So come back to VS Code, and over here at the bottom of the content you're gonna write dot image, okay, like this. So on the HTML we wrote this, right? So using the CSS we're gonna inject the image inside this div. All right, how to do this? We're gonna use the background property, okay. So image and then curly braces. All right, so you're gonna write BGI tab, okay. Now write BGI tab, okay, BGI tab, and inside the URL you're gonna give double quotes over here like this, okay. Now if you hit Control space, look at this, we don't get any suggestion, I mean any path selection over here, okay. So in this cases, look at this over here. So where is the images folder? The images folder is over here, right? So you're gonna do dot slash. All right, so follow along with me. Look at this over here, we're gonna write dot slash. All right, look at this, I have this images path. All right, and then slash. Look at this illustration over here, okay. So click this, look at this, I wrote this, I mean I selected the path, the entire path of the image without writing a single letter, okay. So you're gonna take the help of IntelliSense like this. All right, now back to the browser, we cannot see anything. In order to explain this, first of all add a border. All right, so I'm gonna write over here border, all right, 2px solid black like this, and let's look at the result. Look at this, our image is over here. All right, it looks like this, which means that it needs what? It needs a height. All right, without the height we cannot see our image. So come back to the VS Code over here like this and set a height, okay. Height, let's say 65%, okay. Save it, look at the result. There we go, it is repeating itself 2 times, or perhaps it's gonna repeat multiple times depending on the size. All right, so you're gonna come back over here and write over here BGR tab, which is background repeat, no repeat. All right, now look at the result. Let me actually wait a second, give me a second. I'm gonna save it, okay. Look at this, it is gone. All right, now listen, we're gonna use the property background size and set it to contain. All right, let me maximize this like this, okay. BGS tab, okay, we're gonna write content, which is the default value anyways, okay. Minimize this. Now look at this. All right, it's gonna look like this, and come back, and in order to center the image at the very center over here, follow along with me, okay. So over here you're gonna write BGP, okay, and you're gonna write center over here like this, okay, center. There we go, save it, look at the result. There we go, we are successful so far. Now look at this text over here, okay. We're gonna make it the color white, and then we're gonna place it at the center over here. All right, and at the same time we're gonna put a gap, I mean we're gonna put a break over here. Where? Over here between the get and the attractive, because on our design, look at our design over here, you see this design, we have a line break over here, okay. So follow along with me, come back to VS Code, and over here below the image we're gonna write what? Dot text class. Why dot text class? Because in the HTML, look at this, we have our text over here. All right, and by the way, over here you're gonna write over here BR tab. All right, which is gonna give us a line break. All right, save it. Now look at our result over here. Do you see this? We have a line break over here. Now let's align it at the center, right? So come back and look at this over here. I'm gonna write over here TA tab, text align, and now I'm gonna write center like this, okay, center, and I'm gonna set the color to white, okay, color white like this. All right, at the same time set the font size to 18 pixels, okay, F size tab. All right, and write over here 18px. All right, save it. Now let's look at the result. There we go, we have our text at the very center. All right, at the same time we have also changed the color and the font size as well. Now ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna put gap between where? Between our text, image, and the logo. How to do this? Follow along with me. So come back to VS Code over here, and then go to this content section over here and write df tab. All right, do you know what's the default value of flex direction? It is row, okay, flex direction. Now look what happens because of the default value. If I come over here, look at this, okay, it's behaving like a row, but we want it to behave like a what? Column. All right, so come back to VS Code and then write over here column, okay, COLUMN like this. Let's go back to the result. There we go, we have this. Now listen, we're gonna use a property called justify content, okay, JC tab, and over here you're gonna write space between, okay, between like this, okay, save it. Now look, Now there we go, we have this result so far. Look at this gap over here, this gap over here as well. We have a lot of options like space around, space evenly as well. So I'm gonna use over here space around like this, save it. Let's look at the result. There we go, we have some gap over here and gap over here as well because of this property over here, this space around. Okay, you can also write space evenly as well, but I'm gonna keep over here space around like that. All right, and look at this border over here. Remove the border from there. Where is the border? It is over here. There is it. I'm gonna comment this from here, save it. Let's look at the result. There we go, it looks like our design. Look at this design over here, you see this? Alright boys and girls, now we're gonna add the media query to make our website, this website, to the mobile version. Okay, look at this mobile version over here. Do you see this? So first of all, what do we have? We have the logo, then the image, and then we have this text over here. At the same time, if I scroll down, then look at this, we have our form over here along with what? Along with these buttons, this submit button over here as well. Now let's recreate this using the media queries. Now come back to the CSS and come at the very bottom over here. All right, and do you remember this comment? We wrote this comment over here, media queries are here. We're gonna make a media query over here. Okay, @media, oh not this one, sorry, my bad, it should be in small letters, media, and then brackets. Okay, max width, the breakpoint should be what? 900 pixel. Okay, so write 900 pixel over here like this. All right, and then curly braces. So now what do we want? Let's go back to the design. So look at this, it is behaving like a column fashion. Okay, what is this? A column fashion. All right, and this is what? This is the row fashion over here. Right, so in order to recreate it like a column fashion instead of a row fashion, follow along with me. Okay, come back to the VS Code and first of all select the container. Okay, dot container like this and curly braces. Why container? Because if you come to this one at the very top over here, do you see this container over here? We have written what? The flex direction row, and we're gonna copy this from here and come at the very bottom over here like this, and over here paste it. Okay, change the value to what? Column like this. All right, save it. Now let's go back to the browser. Now look at the result. Okay, I'm gonna hit F12 on my keyboard, or what you can do is you can just right click and then hit inspect elements. Okay, and then it's gonna open the developer console. Okay, look at this, it is 1243 pixels. Okay, now I'm gonna go below 900 pixels like this. Look at that. Now look at this, I have this result so far. If I scroll down, then look at this, I have my form over here. Okay, and then this image is visible. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that. All right, now look at this behavior. Okay, if I go below 900 pixels, then the image is invisible. At the same time, if you scroll down, then you're gonna find this form over here. Okay, don't worry about the image, we're gonna fix that. At the same time, look at this, we have to fix this. Okay, it is occupying how much space? 45 pixels, I mean 45% of the entire screen width, and this one is occupying how much? 55% of the entire screen width. Okay, so let's fix this. So come back to the VS Code, and over here you're gonna target which one? The form and your content. Okay, dot form and then comma. Okay, dot content like this. All right, then curly braces, and you're gonna write over here with how much? 100%. Okay, like this. Now save it. Now let's go back to the browser. Now look at this, I have my content and the form in 100%. Okay, so if I scroll down over here, look at this, this one didn't get fixed. Okay, let's check why. So this form over here, you see this, it is not responding. Why is that? That's because if you come back to the VS Code over here, I wrote the wrong thing. Do you see this over here? It is a class name, but look at our HTML over here. Okay, in the form we don't have any class name which represents the form, only the form tag and what is this, the ID over here. Okay, so I wrote the wrong thing. So instead of writing this as a class name, remove this dot from here. Okay, and now it's gonna be the form tag. Okay, it's gonna represent which one? This one. All right, now I'm gonna save it. Now let's go back to the browser. Now look at the result on the browser. Okay, if I resize the window like this, look at this, I have my content section over here. At the same time, if I come over here, then look at this, I have my form over here, and it is working perfectly fine. All right, but look at these buttons over here, and look at the design over here. Do you see this? It should behave like a what? It should behave like a column, but it is behaving like what? A row. All right, let's fix that. So come back to VS Code and let's find the button 1 and the button 2. All right, so where is it? Search for it. Here is it. Look at this, style rules for the social section. All right, so come over here on this button. All right, look at this. It is behaving like what? A row, but we want it to behave like a column. Okay, so copy this line from here like this. Control C. Go to your media queries over here at the bottom. Write over here .btn because the class name was button. All right, btn, and paste the code over here like this and remove this and write column. All right, save it. Now let's go back to the browser to check the result. There we go. We solved the problem. All right, so if I make it larger, look at this. It is in which format? Row format. So if I make it smaller like this, look at this. I have it in the format of column. All right, so we have this result so far. Now let's fix this. Why are we not seeing the image over here? First of all, let's inspect what is wrong. All right, in order to inspect what is wrong, go to the section where you have added the image. Over here, you see this? Bring back the border. All right, and then save it. Now let's go check what is the problem. Look at this. We don't have any height, even though we have the height over here. How much? Percentage value. All right, now let's use a VH unit. All right, so come back to this media query over here and do this. Write dot image. All right, then curly braces over here, and you're gonna write over here height. Set it to 70 VH. All right, save it. Now let's look at the browser. Look at this. I have my image over here. There we go. I solved the problem. All right, so far so good. Now look at this over here. If I go to the mobile version, which is the smallest one, 320 pixels, look at this. I have a lot of gap over here. You see this? This is how much gap? 50 pixels of gap, which is making my content distorted. So let's fix this as well. So come back to the browser. Come back to the VS Code, and instead of selecting 320 pixels, let's select 425 pixels. Okay. Come back to over here at the very bottom over here. You're gonna write @media. All right, bracket over here and write max width. Not this one. Okay, max width. Set it to 425 pixels. All right, and then curly brace over here, and you're gonna write over here. Select which one? The form. Which tag? The form class name over here. Where is it? Here is it. Look at this. Style rules for form section. Okay, if I open this like this, look at this. How much is the padding? The 50 pixel is the padding. Okay, come back to your media query and you're gonna select dot form. All right, curly brace over here and then write padding. How much should it be? 50 px, not 50 px, sorry, my bad, 20 pixels. Okay, save it. Now let's look at the okay, now let's go back to the browser and let's go below. How much? 425 pixels. Okay, look at this. Oh, I didn't solve the problem, my bad. Let's check what happened. My bad, guys, I made the same mistake over here. You see this? I made mistakenly a class name. Okay, so I'm going to remove this dot from here and I'm going to make it a tag. There we go. Because why? In the HTML, we have it as a tag and an ID. Or what you can do is you can also write over here hashtag. Okay, but to keep it simple, I'm going to write just the form. Okay, and now I'm going to save it. Now let's go back to the browser and look at this. How much is this? 678 pixels. Okay, let's go below 425 pixels. Okay, and here's my result. Look at this. Can you see the result? There is it. It is decreasing the padding like this. There we go. And now the last thing that we need to do is remove this guide from here. Okay, the border from there. So come back to the VS Code and then come to this image section over here and comment this from here. Okay, now save it. Now go back to the browser and look at this. The guides are gone. So ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully completed this project. All right, so this is the desktop version over here, and if I write my name over here like this, if I submit like this, keeping others blank, look at this, it is working perfectly fine. At the same time, if I write over here as well and if I submit, there we go, it is working as well, including what? Including the icons, the error message over here as well. And now if I go below 900 pixels, which is for the mobile version like this, after opening the developer consoles like this, look at this, desktop version, mobile version. All right, this is the mobile version over here. If I make it smaller, look at this, the padding is adjusting to itself. All right, so we're done with the tutorial. If you like the video, give a like, share it with a friend, and feel free to subscribe. Till then, take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.